how can we get attention to ourselves without ads? And so I would do this with a lot of conversations, a lot of posts that are authentic. So your friends and your family, they need to know that you're a realtor. If they don't know you're a realtor, they're going to go with someone else. They know you, they love you, they trust you. I'm going to call every single one of them. They know my face because I'm in the Facebook group. They know who I am. I'm just going to say, hey, heads up, that floor plan sold for this amount in this many days. It's in demand. So if you'd like me to list yours, just let me know.
How can you use free social media to build your brand, build your audience, and sell more stuff?
Oh, Sunit, that is like the $1 billion question.
I know. Well, that's what I want to know. And today, on this episode of the Reside Platform Podcast, my name is Sunit Agrawal, and I'll be your host. I am joined by somebody who I admire the heck out of, and like the organic traffic, like queen, at least as far as I'm concerned, Rachel Miller. Rachel, what's up?
Thank you so much for having me, Sunit. I appreciate you having me on today. And I can't wait to geek out about how do we get free traffic from Facebook, because Facebook is seriously right now the place where 200 million people in the United States are active almost every single day. So this is definitely the place where people can be coming for traffic for sure.
Yes. So guys, I first heard about Rachel on something that Russell Brunson ran, a challenge. And I heard her voice and saw that energy and said, I have to follow this woman now. So I went to her website. Literally, you did such a good job. So I went to her website. What is it? Rachel Miller.
RachelMiller.com is one of my websites.
RachelMiller.com. I went to RachelMiller.com, signed up for everything, and got in there. I loved it. So then I got to meet you through the Driven Mastermind through Perry and Costum and the guys, which has been great. And just tell everybody who might have never met you, quick history about your journey.
Okay, so I started working online like a dozen years ago, maybe a little longer. And I started actually just trying to work from home and trying to do something from home, because at the time my car had broken down and I had just lost my teaching job. And so I was like stuck at home and I wanted to connect with people and I needed a little bit of extra cash. And so I started actually working online, making manuals like for the automatic blinds that rise. Like I actually wrote the manual. I know. Like who actually
I didn't know that. Love that.
Who reads that? That was my start in the digital online marketing space. But the good news is I learned how to write words and I learned how to crank out content. I learned how to do like how to talk to clients. Like there was a lot of good stuff that happened from it. But then I pivoted from there into making my own websites. And next thing you know, those just exploded. And when I mean exploded, we went from a couple thousand followers to 1 million in under a year. And we were getting 10 million page views a month to our website. Wow. Like it just blew up. And it's one thing to have like a one-hit wonder. What if I did it? I told myself like, oh, this is a one-hit wonder. I couldn't do it again. But then I went and built another brand and got it to like 4 million page views a month. Built another brand, got it to like 2 to 4 million page views a month. And so that's where I was like, okay, there's now a process that I have. And so I reached out to a couple of people who found me and was like, ooh, who wants to learn the process that I have? And next thing you know, I sold my course on how to grow an audience to over 27,000 students, and tons of them have been realtors too. So yeah,
awesome.
That's been the last 5 years, has been teaching what I took like 5 years to learn.
But like I've seen you like on flyers with like Tony Robbins though too, right?
Yeah, not just
isn't that cool?
They had me 5 times. Isn't that crazy? 5? I was so great. They were very good to me. I'm super grateful for them.
5 times?
I know. They were so kind to me. So they were very good to me.
That is so cool.
It was crazy.
Yeah, you as far as I'm concerned, and maybe even Tony Robbins is concerned, like you know about social media and building audiences.
I have a lot of fun collecting people and driving them to different offers that I have. And I love actually helping realtors or local businesses, because there's a lot of little hacks that you can do that a big brand, a big name brand like a Coca-Cola or Reebok, they can't do. And that's what I love getting to be on with you guys today, is to get to help basically revitalize a town. You guys are the lifeblood of your towns. And a lot of your communities, they need a hype person. They need somebody to come in and say, this place is a good place to live. There's so many people in your local towns that are complaining about your town, and you get to come in here and be that positive light and that positive like joy to your community.
Awesome. Okay, let's jump right in. Like, I cannot wait. Like, let's just go for it. So, I'm a realtor in, let's say, Sacramento, California.
Okay.
You know,
what's a town outside of Sacramento, a little smaller than Sacramento? Or a neighborhood?
Oh yeah, West Sacramento.
Okay. So like if you're in all of Sacramento, you can get lost as a realtor in all of Sacramento. Sure. But my guess is there's probably only 2 or 3 top realtors in West Sacramento.
Absolutely.
Right? Yep. Okay. So what I love to do is when I love to find a neighborhood that's not being serviced, as in there's no personality, there's no dominant personality present. And then you can come in to that neighborhood, love them in a big way, and become the dominant personality there and kind of clean house. Can I back up and tell a story about my neighborhood AC guy?
Yes.
Okay. So this AC guy, his name is Tim. He is a nutball, as in he's just absolutely crazy. He's off the wall. Like he's just hilarious, but he's the life of a party. Okay. He's also probably not the person you'd first think of, oh, fix my AC. You think of him playing a practical joke on someone. Does that make sense? Yeah. Not as he's going to rescue my house when there's no AC. So he moved into our neighborhood about the same time I did. He realized that I was like engaged in my community. And this is also, guys, when I had very little babies and I wasn't the name brand I am today. So I didn't have the money I have today. And he came into the neighborhood. He found out that my air conditioner was broken. He came over to my house, fixed my air conditioner. But while he was in my house, he's like, let's go on to the Facebook group so I can show them what was wrong with your air conditioner and how we fixed it. Because I bet with the 100-degree temperatures right now, other people in your neighborhood might also want to see what I'm doing so they can fix their air conditioners ahead of the time because of this heat crunch. Was freaking brilliant. He did that. He didn't just do that with me. He did with every other house in the neighborhood. And sometimes he would even do like the duct tape fix for free just for the chance to love on our neighborhood. At this time, no one in my neighborhood gets their AC fixed by anyone else. Sure. Even though it's been 10 years later, and yes, I live in the same neighborhood for the past, actually, I've been in this neighborhood for almost 20 years now. Realtors love me because I don't move. No, they don't, actually. They're like, you could move. You know, you've got a lot of equity. I'm like, I know. It's been paid off for, I don't know, 15 years.
Yeah, awesome. Don't ever move.
But my whole point of that is that he dominates now in the neighborhood as the person to go to get your AC fixed. In the same way that he did that, there's 2 realtors who did the same thing. They came in, we'll help you sell your, like, let me come alongside you. I'll help you do. And next thing you know, they have a monopoly, I would like to say, on selling homes in our area. If it's not being sold by a landlord, it's being sold by these 2 specific realtors. And the neighborhood is pretty polarized as to which one of them they like. So your audience, if they can find a neighborhood that doesn't have a personality in it right now, that's a place that as a new realtor, they can come in and they can take hold in that neighborhood and grow their reach in that neighborhood. Now, a lot of you are thinking that this is going to take, like I told you the story of the guy with the AC, this is going to take a long time. No, actually, Tim fixed 3 people's homes in 1 week or 2 weeks. And now everyone in the neighborhood heard, oh, he fixed Rachel's house. He fixed this person's house. Oh, he did this guy for free? Wait a minute. He's not going to cheat me. I should call Tim. I'm having some problems with my AC right now. Now, just like AC is honestly, it's a big purchase, guys. And it sounds like an AC repair, but an AC is like, in our area, it's like a $5,000 person.
Oh, minimum.
Yeah, it's minimum. It's a high ticket. So it's not $100,000 or $400,000 like a house, but it's a high ticket. 100,000. Who buys a house for 100,000 anymore? I'm sure somebody does.
I don't know where. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be nice? But my point is, there is high ticket, but a different type of high ticket, but it's still a high ticket purchase. And then But with houses, it's the same strategy. Once you're known for one or two houses in a close proximity to each other, you can then use those people's names and connect to all of the other ones. So there's a lot of benefit that comes with that.
So where do we start? Because yes, we call it farming a neighborhood.
Yeah, farming a neighborhood. I love it. Okay, good.
So where do we start using social? Let's say I moved to this neighborhood. I don't have any sales yet. How do I leverage social media, Rachel? Where do I start?
Probably do two things first, because you're realtors. You get to kind of pick which house you move into. So you're not necessarily going to pick the nicest house in the nicest neighborhood. You're going to pick to move in, especially if you're a young, hungry realtor. You're going to pick the house that has the neighborhood, that has an active neighborhood with no realtor dominant in it. Okay. So your first house, when you're starting out, don't think I want the house that I'm going to get for the most money, as in the most value for my dollar in that house. Think, where is the community that I can embed myself into and become the name that everyone recognizes? So one, start there with your own neighborhood. If there is no one in your neighborhood, like, that's a goal. You get to clean house. I would actually go visit, if you're in Sacramento, go visit all of the Facebook groups for each little enclave. Visit, if possible, the ISD groups. ISD is what we call our independent school districts. I'm sure in California or whatever part of the world you have XYZ school district. Go join that Facebook group where they all complain about what's happening in the school system. See if they're also mentioning a realtor. Hey guys, is anyone thinking about selling their house? Who would you suggest using? Ask them. Don't put on your Think profile that you're a realtor yet. Just keep that on the down low. You're looking at this point for what groups have no one in there that's really being obviously recommended. As in, everyone in the group mentions one person. In my neighborhood group, they're all going to mention Jim Schmuck, to fix their AC. There is no one else that you will hear recommended for AC work. It's only him.
So
and it's only these two realtors. So you don't want to come into a group where there's two realtors dueling out. You're gonna be the third party. We don't want to be a third party. We want to be the one of the two party.
Is every Facebook group has a ton of realtors in it.
Really?
Every single one. Yes, it's the whole thing.
No. Realtors in it or realtors being recommended?
Both.
Okay.
So, but what about?
I'm in Facebook groups right now where you can ask them, what realtor should I use? And they're mentioning 15. They're not mentioning one.
Well, yeah, but there's usually a lot. Like here, there's a lot.
Oh, there's a lot of realtors in them, but there's not one person dominating.
Oh, who they're mentioning the most. Yes.
As everyone's recommending the same person. If that's
how do you become that person? By posting in the group? What do you post?
Okay, so you don't want to post about selling houses.
Okay.
You want to post things that help people love you and trust you and remember that you're a realtor. So, is there a pothole in that neighborhood that has been there for a long time, or a crack?
I'm sure there is.
There's got to be.
Yes.
So you get yourself a cupcake from the local cupcake store, because you're going to tag them and tell them, hey, here's this post to share. I just shared your cupcake. You're going to get a cupcake from the local cupcake store. You're going to put a candle in it. You're going to go to that pothole and be like, happy birthday to you. Yeah. P.S. neighborhood. I was looking around the neighborhood doing some home comps because I'm a realtor and stuff. And I found this pothole. And I want you to know, I've been through this neighborhood 3 times and this pothole is still here 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever amount of time later. And so it's time. Here is the text dot. I live in Texas. Y'all, so I keep talking about Texas stuff. I live in Texas. Here's text dot. Call text dot and get them to fix this pothole. 1, you now say you care about the neighborhood more than anyone else. 2, you're telling them that you are doing comp value. So you're telling them you're a realtor. 3, you value their neighborhood and value their home prices. So you want to make sure that that pothole gets fixed so that the home values go up. And 4, everybody loves seeing a cupcake and making fun of it. And they all want to gripe about that pothole because they've all been complaining about that pothole for the last 6 months, or they've wanted to.
For sure.
So you now cemented that neighborhood to you faster than anything. Next thing, find a lost dog. I know it's crazy, but it's worth it. Every day there's at least one lost dog in every neighborhood. You're going to be out there with dog food in your front yard until you find that whatever that dog is that's lost. And then you're going to take a picture of how you're taking care of that dog and letting everybody know you've got it tied up here for the owner to come find, and then do something about lost dogs. In your Facebook group, how many people talk about a lost dog?
Oh, so much.
Okay. So use the stories that people are already talking about and make them about you instead. So now you're the source that they trust to find their dog for them. Do you think that family is going to love you, but also refer others to you and always remember you? And everybody else who has a dog that looks similar to that dog is going to be, oh, is that my dog? Now they're remembering you and they will never forget you because they love their dog. They're going to love you for caring for it. So there's little things like that you can do, which will instantly like connect your heart to that neighborhood in ways that nobody else would. Another thing would be if there's ever any, like they're rerouting road traffic, you become the news source. So whenever they're redoing the roads in that area, hey guys, heads up, this isn't going to affect your home values. Because remember, you want to seed the fact that you're a realtor in your post. This isn't going to affect your home values, but heads up, they're going to be redirecting traffic for just 3 weeks. So this exit's going to be closed. Now they always trust you for the news source. So when you tell them their home values later, they trusted you when you told them the road was going to be closed and then it was closed. Because you read the town announcements that nobody ever reads. So you knew that road was going to be closed because they had announced it at city council, but you knew that. So now you become the source. When you tell them their home values are going to go down if they don't do X, Y, Z, they're now going to trust you as the source.
So you could really work these groups.
Oh my word.
Like that.
Yes.
That's so good.
Okay. And there's a couple other ones. You want some more?
Yes.
Okay. I know I'm talking really fast, but I had so much fun with the realtors that we've worked with in the past, guys. They are so like, they've come up with some really cool guerrilla marketing ones. One person played, you know how they have that game Pokemon Go where you open up your phone and you like chase these like,
oh yeah.
I don't know what my kids do it. I don't even know. I swear I did it once with them. But
my kids didn't do it, but I know what it is. Yeah.
There's like it's these like you open it up and there's like Pikachu and you can go find Pikachu behind some bush in the neighborhood park.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that went crazy. So why don't we do something like that? One of my clients did. They got a $1 bill. I should have remembered that I was going to be on with you and I should have pulled it up. They got a $1 bill. But they got it from like Alibaba or AliExpress and it's like gold plated. So it's like a gold $1 bill. I'm sure it's illegal to tamper with currency and make a gold $1 bill, but whatever. The IRS, I don't think they're going to come after you for doing this. So hopefully it's not a big deal. But if they are, I'm not trying to get you in trouble for defacing public currency or whatever. But they got a gold $1 bill. They took a picture of where it was in such a way that people couldn't really figure out what it was. Like it's the side of the park bench. And you're like, oh, I think that might be that park bench. And then you post it into the neighborhood group and say, finders keepers. And geotag it with your ad. So now you can, anyone who checks in there, whose phone shows up in that place, they are tagged as your event. What does that mean? You can now remarket to them in ads because they showed up to your place of business. So there's so many cool things. This guy did one every single day in a different place. And like everybody was like, okay, so where's the next one? Like, I want to find my gold $1. And I think he paid like, I don't know, like I think they were like 10 or 15 cents each because he got them from like they're like a flat pay but he got them from China where it's legal to, or you know, it's anyways, it's a gold. I wish I could show it to you. It was the coolest thing. He sent me one. I was like, dude, that's so brilliant. And he sent me one. I don't remember where I put it. I have this clipboard, this like pushpin board. Anyways.
Dude, so you could really work the groups. And you know what I like about that is a lot of people, salespeople in any industry, they don't want to pick up the phone and prospect. No. And while I don't think this is a replacement for that, I think this is something that you could also spend time working the groups. And it won't be immediate, but if you were consistent, I could see it working.
Now, here's the thing. If you're cold calling, that feels icky, right?
I mean, if it might feel icky to you, but I'm helping people. I'm saving people, Rachel.
What if they already know your name and you call them?
It makes it easier to call. Yeah.
You're the one that they commented on the post with the dog. Yeah. And you ask them, hey guys, who's your neighbors? Like, do they know, but do they have a dog too? Like you're just asking about their dogs. And I would almost get a screenshot of the neighborhood and write down this person has a dog, this person has a dog, blah, blah, blah. So you know, oh, your neighbor also has a dog.
Good idea.
When they see your name now, you're not a stranger to them. They've already interacted with you 14, 15, 17 times in the Facebook group. They remember your name. Now you're just calling to say hi. Heads up, there was a change in the home values in the neighborhood. And I just wanted you to know that home values now went up. And I want you to know your exact floor plan sold for, in my neighborhood, there's like 15 of the same, 5 like floor plans. So there's at least 15, 20, 30 houses with the same exact floor plan.
Oh,
so
yeah.
what the girl would do, one of the realtors of the two top competing ones, when the floor plan sold for higher than average in the area, she's like, oh, they all want this floor plan. Here's all the houses that have that floor plan. I'm going to call every single one of them. They know my face because I'm in the Facebook group. They know who I am. I'm just going to say, hey, heads up, that floor plan sold for this amount in this many days. It's in demand. So if you'd like me to list yours, just let me know. That doesn't feel, it feels like she's just letting me know like neighborhood news.
Yeah.
And then she might even say, and by the way, did you see what happened with the school board election? And so it feels like we're gossiping. It doesn't feel like she's prospecting me. And I know full well she's prospecting me. But I know also I'm talking to her about what Radcliffe did in the school board election.
So how about on how about on my personal Facebook profile and just my personal, what do I do there?
Okay, I love to use friends, and I love to use friends in like a guerrilla marketing way as well. So I'm known for being organic strategist. How can we get attention to ourselves without ads? And so I would do this with a lot of conversations, a lot of posts that are authentic. So your friends and your family, they need to know that you're a realtor. If they don't know you're a realtor, they're going to go with someone else. They know you, they love you, they trust you. They would rather the money for the commissions goes to you than a stranger for sure. So you need to be first of mind for them, but don't assume that they know you're a realtor. Even if they're your sister or your cousin, they might think you're just dabbling and that you're not for real. So you have to put those signals out that I'm for real, I'm a realtor, and here's how you can contact me. Here's proof of what I've done. And also let me talk to you about what's important to you, because they want to know that you're listening to them. You have to kind of earn the right to brag about who you are and brag about your services. So you do that by listening to them first. This happens actually in like parties. Like if you go to a random party and walk up to a stranger, you're going to say, hi, nice to meet you. What do you do? Right? Like, hi, my name is so-and-so. What's your name, Ed? What do you do? That's the first question somebody asked, right? That's because you're going to get them to talk about themselves. And after they're done talking about themselves, what's their response? Well, what do you do? Now it's your turn to pitch them, right? Like, I'm a realtor and I help houses sell people in less than a month. So if you need to get out of a house fast, I'm your guy. That's your chance to shine. That doesn't happen if you start with, I'm a realtor, I'll help you get your house sold in 30 days or less. It happens if you let them talk first. So how do you get them to talk first? That's exactly the guerrilla marketing tactics where you help them find you and start that conversation. But in your personal profile, I do that with a lot of questions. And that would be things like, what do you think $1 million house is worth? Like, what's $1 million house in our area? Look at this house from super expensive area. Could you believe that tiny little dump is $1 million? Or could you believe that ginormous thing is $1 million in the middle of the hills in Kentucky? Okay, that type of conversation just gets people to talk. Like once they talk about what they think it is, or why do you think home values are dropping in our area? Why do you think home values are rising in our area? What do you think? Would you rather buy a house with a shower in it? Because frankly, I hate my bathtub personally, and I'm a realtor. So would anyone else just buy a house with a shower and no bathtub? Like, ask them those questions that get them to talk to you. And after they talk to you, they're automatically going to assume it's my turn to hear from you. So your next post can be, hey guys, I have this new listing. Here's the 3 new listings I have. Or I would like to list your home for you. But you've earned the right to post that because the time before you asked them a question.
So questions versus, because the questions get the engagement, which is what you want, I know, right? And we had this conversation and I already know the answer. So questions versus like posts full of copy value.
that people don't come to Facebook for value. People go to YouTube to search for value. People go to Google to search for an answer. People come to Facebook, people come to Instagram to connect with others or to show off for themselves, to show people that they're awesome and they're amazing. Like they come to Facebook to say, I'm good. So, how can you, with your profile, make other people look amazing? And so, what I mean by that is when you're coming at them with, here's a post of 10 ways to increase your curb appeal. Well, I mean, they might want that, but that probably feels like unsolicited advice. So even if they're ready to sell their home, they're not coming to Facebook looking for how do I get curb appeal issues. They're coming to Facebook to talk about themselves. And now suddenly you're shaming them about their curb appeal, which, oh, you know what? I know I never actually weed around my mailbox and I probably need to upgrade this. And yeah, a fresh coat of paint on the garage would probably help a lot, but like, I'm just going to skip that.
I like that perspective.
Feel good. It doesn't make me look good. It doesn't make my life really better right now. So I'm just going to hit next because it feels like you're just putting stuff on my to-do list. And so instead, earn the right to talk about the curb appeal, which would be, heads up, guys, I have somebody who's a buyer who they don't love any of the houses I've shown to them. And frankly, they're all great. So what's the one thing that for you makes a house look amazing that I can go back to my houses and be like, okay, guys, make this one twitch because this realtor, this buyer, they're an approved buyer. They've seen 15 houses and they don't want any of them. So like, but they want to move.
That's a good one.
So how can I, now your readers are actually pre-selling in their minds. I think I should sell my house to him. And they're doing it while they're helping you figure out how to fix the curb appeal. Oh, actually, if they just do XYZ, honestly, there's too much clutter in all the houses I've gone to. So clean up the clutter. Okay, great. I'll make sure they clean up the clutter. But they're already thinking, well, if I clean up my clutter, I could list my house. So you're earning the right to pitch them. And after they comment to you, now if you reach out to them over DMs, one, it's not solicited anymore. And so it doesn't count as cold. So you're more likely to actually even get into their DMs. Whereas in Instagram right now, you're not even allowed cold DMing people anymore. Yeah. So that's the only way you can get into DMs. So you slide into the DMs on Facebook or Instagram, but you start with that conversation. Once they have that conversation with you and they told you, here's something I like about curb appeal, you could be like, hey, heads up, what kind of house do you have? Because I'm not saying you're selling your house, but if I put it into my like Rolodex, and so if people were really going to looking for an off the wall crazy price, would you want me to reach out to you if they had an offer? Then you're preceding them. I could move if there's a good offer. I could move, and you'll be surprised how many people would say, "Yeah, actually, put me on that list just in case." Like I'm not going to be moving now, but I might one day. So put me on that list. Well, now 3 months later, hey, are you still thinking about listing your home? you get that inventory happening when you do that.
So conversation starters, right?
Conversation starters, yeah.
And then what about like Twitter style posts on Facebook where you put some kind of like statement?
I love doing those too. I love conversations more than tweetables. Tweetables make you seem like an expert better than anything else can. So things like, I love Sacramento. I don't care what XYZ says. If there's something out there and there's like some drama about, well, right now there's drama in my town about my school board and how they're banning phones and yada, yada, yada. I don't care what everyone says about our school district. I still love my city. That's what I would post that as a realtor right now. That statement establishes you as an expert. You're drawing the line in the sand of here's where people need to stand in my community. And everyone who believes that with you is going to come alongside you and be like, yes, I agree. We're going to champion this together. So those statements, they don't lead necessarily to a conversation, which leads to a buy. It doesn't lead to somebody coming onto your list, but they do establish you as the go-to person. So even if you don't get likes on that, even if you don't get comments on it, even if you don't get shares, they're still good because they're establishing you for the lurkers as the go-to person who believes the same things they believe. They're just too scared to publicly say it.
Okay, good. Yeah, I love that. And I feel like those get a lot of, like Facebook pushes those out sometimes.
Facebook likes things with no links, and honestly, even with no photos and no videos in it. Like they actually like status posts. So those right now are doing the best in all of the content across all of the brands I'm helping. As of like literally, I was working on someone's stats this morning, and they're going gangbusters comparative to other content types.
Now, how about, since so many realtors love to do this, promotional images with successes?
I know. Well, I mean, we need those too because they're teasing what's happening. Those do better in ads. If it looks like an ad, it smells like an ad, it feels like an ad,
It won't get pushed by
sounds like an
Facebook.
ad.
Yeah.
It should be an ad, and it shouldn't be an organic post. If it looks like a Facebook post, it smells like a person wrote it, talks like a person talking to their friend, if it looks like a conversation, then it's going to do better because people come to Facebook to talk face to face with different people. So you can automate conversations, you can automate like promotional content, but you have to kind of hide it. You have to make your content seem like part of a story or part of some drama. Or y'all need to read Ask Me, Am I the Asshole threads inside of Reddit. You need to like ask Reddit, like actual hashtag ask Reddit. You want to go to those and see how can I make real estate more like this? Because if you can do that, you can sell a house. So if you can get into it and be like, oh my word, guys, I just walked into this house and like the lady said I could do anything I want with this house to get it onto the market because she just needs out right now, which I'm totally excited about. But you would not believe the cupboard I just saw. Like, who can sell a house with this bad of a cupboard? So guys, I need your help. If I was going to clean a cupboard in 2 hours, what supplies do I need? Da, 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 da. Okay, that says you care about selling the house more than anyone else here will end up doing. I mean, like, there's so many, and it reads like a drama story. Like,
Yeah.
oh my word, what did she have in her? Does there a dead animal? Let me know if there's dead animals. I mean, like, that's actually like probably what people would be thinking, right? So like, you follow the drama, follow the tea, make the drama, make your tea, but make it tea that's uplifting to your community so they know that you're the source to come alongside.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it just seems like, and you obviously are right, but when I choose not to listen to you and try anyways, like you get proved right, because a lot of my promotional images, no algorithmic push at all.
No,
like it's
don't.
just a friggin' waste.
But okay, people really like it when I make them for them, so we still make them.
Promotional images?
Yeah, we still make promotional images for people because the businesses really want them.
Okay, yeah. Well, it's important to check a box, right? Like you should put them up there to check a box.
They feel like they need to have that box checked. What would be better is for you to take a picture of your local pothole. What would be better is for you to get a sunset going over a neighborhood and how amazing that sunset is. What would be better would be that time that airplane flew really low over everybody's houses and shook them, and you got a picture of the underbelly of that thing. Oh, that would go bonkers.
Are the bathroom in the weird place, or the kitchen with a funky faucet, or like a weird door or staircase?
Okay. I got this one for you guys. Can I show my screen?
I don't know how to do it on StreamYard, but you might.
I did collect a couple of realtors ads from my people, and I pulled it up. And I'm sorry, guys, I talk like a million miles a minute. So it's just who I am. I've always been a fast talker. So if I'm too slow, just slow this down when you rewatch it. Okay, so I pulled this down from my collection. Yeah, sorry, you're gonna have to rewatch this one. Okay, it's down below, and I think you have to approve it.
Oh.
This was a real estate listing I found, and
I don't know. I don't think I can do it.
Oh no! Okay, never mind then. Basically, guys, I'm going to describe it for you since you guys cannot see it, and I pulled it down so even he can't share it anymore. Okay, what this brilliant realtor did, they made a listing. Okay, let's say, how many of you guys have seen those houses where, oh my word, there's a bathroom in the wrong spot, or a faucet that's funky and weird, like a faucet that's a unicorn and it's the water like that. Yeah, that would go viral, but nobody wants to buy a house with a faucet that's water comes out of the unicorn's butt. Like that's just not it, right? Okay, but what if we could manufacture that in any house? What this guy did is he put on like a Chewbacca or a Bigfoot outfit. He put that outfit on. He took pictures of the room. So room 1, normal. Room 2, normal. Room 3, normal. Room 4, wait a minute. What is that on the side of the banister? Huh? Room 5, you see a little bit more of Bigfoot. Room 6, there's Bigfoot sitting on the couch, or there's room 7, he's taking a dump with a newspaper. Room 8. And next thing you know, like you're like laughing at Bigfoot. You can't do that every single listing, but it would be really fun as a way to get attention to your listing. So there's Bigfoot. Well, there's also like a rubber ducky. You could play Who Can Find the Rubber Duckies. You could play Where's Waldo? You could literally hide a stick, like a thing of Waldo throughout the pictures. Like there's a lot of next one you
That's
could do.
Such a good idea. That would get engagement, like that would get like stops and clicks and looks and like pauses. And
When we're staging, are we staging to give someone
such a good
smile?
idea, Rachel?
And when they smile at the listing, when they're automatically, their brains are saying like that dopamine, when they smile, a dopamine and an endorphin just hit their brains. And when you want them to see the house, what do you want to hit their brains? You want them to have an endorphin and a dopamine hit to their brain. Like, this house is fun. This house is good. I would have fun here. You're already programming them to love this place because you seeded it with something. Now, how many of you guys are doing an open house?
Yeah, a bunch.
Could you put one of these into the open house for someone just to discover? And a little sign that says, if you find this, you get to share it. Or a fairy door. Like one of those little, like they're just little doors. Like there's a fairy doors. Where's Waldo? You could have a unicorn head that's just poking out in weird places. Like they open up the fridge and there's the unicorn head looking at them. And this is a mask you just stuff. Like we have a unicorn head. Oh, my son got me singing chickens. You could do something with singing chickens. Like think a different, you don't want to do the same thing over and over again, but come up with 5 shticks for yourself as to ways to make someone smile when they see this property. When they see the property and they smile, they're now going to look at it again. They're going to share it more likely, and they're going to remember it with a uplifting feeling of this could be a place for me.
Yes. What about, I love that. What about lead magnets on organic social?
Oh, well, I made okay. How long? It takes forever to attract leads. And they are so expensive if you're trying to get local leads in a local area that are qualified buyers. It's hard to get email addresses from them.
Yeah.
The best and easiest way we have found is to come up with a resource that your neighborhood or your community needs. So that could be free things to do with your kids, places that give you free gifts for your birthday in the local area, like Starbucks and Dutch Brothers, and these places all give you local birthday gifts for free in your local area. Here's the list and here's how you sign up for them. So on your birthday, you can get 15 free things. Well, who's not going to want that list?
That's a great one. Oh my God.
So
say that again so everyone doesn't have to go back and listen.
Okay.
What's the list?
For your birthday, there's in your local area, a lot of places. Like my daughter works at a cupcake shop. If you have a birthday and you're on their rewards program, you get to have a free cupcake. Starbucks will give you a free drink on your birthday. Dutch Brothers will give you a free
the lead magnet, all the free
Sephora
stuff you can get on your birthday.
Free perfume on your birthday. And so you just make a list of whatever in your town. Like those are the 4 in my town that I remember because my daughter made me drive her to all of them like 4 weeks ago. But whatever's in your town of all the things in your area that neighborhood would want that's free for their birthday, make that into a lead magnet. Post that out. Look, I cannot remember off the top of my head, but there's a time of the year that the majority of people are born. So I think it's like May and October. So I would probably post that the last week in April and the last week in September. I believe, don't like
Google it. Yeah. Go online and look.
I believe it's May and October are the highest birth months. So I would post it the week before the highest birth month. That way it's fresh. Oh, next week's my birthday. I can get all these free things if I'm on this list. You're going to get all of those people and all their friends because they're going to be like, dude, I just signed up for this. You guys should get this too. It has all of the places. They feel smart now when they share your lead magnet and it's relevant to your community. So only people in this local area would want this. And then they share it with everybody. And now you're able to capture that lead magnet.
That is the best. Dude, that's the best advice that's been on this podcast in a while, Rachel.
Oh, cool.
I cannot wait to make one of those myself.
Yeah, so we actually made a software tool that will make your lead magnets for you, but you'd have to do the research of the places, but it's called PageWheel, and it puts it onto a sales page and everything for you.
What's it called?
page wheel, like page, like flip a book page and a wheel.
And it'll make all this?
It'll design it for you. It'll put it on an offer page, and it'll hook up the email to deliver. So you don't need to make another website, or you don't need to make anything. It's like you just have to Google what's in my area and copy and paste those links in, and you're good to go.
What's it called again? Page wheel?
Page wheel. Yep.
Okay. So pagewheel.com.
Yep. That's it.
And it'll make all this stuff.
It'll make your lead magnets for you. So that was one idea, which is a birthday one. Another one could be free things to do with your kids. Another thing could be, if you've got a lot of elderly, would be like senior citizen care centers, or like, think of the demographics of your people. If your person is 55, they're going to have like, what kind of things can we do? Like, if I didn't love golf, what else could I do in my area? They might want different things that they care about, or get on a petition about XYZ thing that you care about, and we'll make sure the school board knows. Like, if that's your demographic, my neighborhood's all families, so the school district is like a huge thing here. Making a petition to sign up for XYZ to tell this to the school board, like, vote, put your vote here. That's a killer lead magnet right now at the beginning of school year in a neighborhood that's got families. So you want to think of, who's my demographic? How can I match a lead magnet to that demographic, and then convert them to, once you have their email list, obviously you can now target them.
Well, we'll make sure to put pagewheel.com in the notes so everybody can hit it. One last question for me is, how often can I recycle my posts?
As soon as people forget that they saw it, which most people forget that they saw something within 2 or 3 weeks.
So do I have to change the description of the post, the copy?
If you posted it super recently, in less than 90 days, I usually like to change it up a little bit. But after 90 days, no, we keep posting the same wording, the same post.
Oh,
and actually, I did the math. We have a post that's on my personal Facebook wall right now that we posted for the first time almost 8 years ago. And it has been posted about 12 times, and it got 76 comments. And that was the 12th time it's been posted.
Yes. And you can change the picture or whatever too, right? Like, just get another picture if you want.
It's a picture, and it's the same wording. It's the same picture, same wording. And we just run it in a rotation, and it showed up in rotation today or 2 days ago, and it knocked it out of the park again.
I forget and you've told me to do that before, but I'm always like on a creative, like, oh, I got to write.
Well, I think that's a form of procrastination, in the sense we like to delay things, and so I'll do it. This is more fun, so I'll do the more fun thing, and I just procrastinate what I need to do, which is just post.
It's also like, just to get personal with you, my friend, and someone I admire, is I want to practice my copywriting every day.
That's true. That's good to do.
However, as I continue to study copywriting, I use ChatGPT more often.
That's crazy. No, we actually use ChatGPT too, though, for all of our new stuff, because I can feed ChatGPT my winning content, and I can say, ChatGPT, come up with content just like this, or make this content 5 different ways. And it tends to do a really good job.
Make a bot or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've made some cool bots. Anyways, how do people find out more about working with you? Or go to paperwheel.com or rachelmiller.com. Pagewheel, yes.
Yeah. If they want to work with me, pagewheel.com in the lower right has a live chat, and they can ask to reach me that way as well.
Great. And we'll put the link in here in the show notes for everybody. Listen, I've had this conversation with you several times, and I got a bunch of stuff to implement right now.
That's awesome.
So that's so great. Thank you. Everybody, make sure you go check out pagewheel.com, rachelmiller.com. And I really hope that you guys got something out of this episode. If you did, like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you on the next episode of the Reside Platform Podcast. Thanks, Rachel.